Alright, welcome to day one of the ICT or Trading Bootcamp. Alright, what we're doing here is basically I'm acting like you're new or just starting, or maybe you're unprofitable and you're in a place to where you need some help. So I'm going on 2 years of experience. It don't seem like a lot, but I have been a profitable trader for a little while. Nothing crazy yet, but I still work my job, but we are, making a lot of progress. So my goal with this is to save you some time, and I really want to help you. So this is for the people that want to study ICT. I would start right here, 2022 mentorship, and it's easy to go fast, but you have to go slow, especially those first 6-8 videos. I forget exactly how many. The first few are, they're all important, but man, the first 6, 8, 10 are just pure gold. But you have to watch them multiple times. You have to take notes. You basically have to watch the video, take notes, make sure that you grasp everything, then go back into price action and try to find what he's talking about. And I promise you, if you do this is the way I learned very quick. It took me about 6 months before I started receiving regular payouts. And to me, it felt like a long time, but looking back and looking at everybody else's journey, which everybody's journey is going to be different. I went through my last quarter, the third quarter of this year, where I couldn't, catch a trade. I couldn't make a trade. I couldn't make a good decision. I lost a lot. So I had to take a small break, refine, learn from it, and realize it's just part of the game. It's easier said than done. People will tell you, it's just part of it, and it is. But when you're going through it for the first time, you start questioning yourself, like, what am I doing? Was I just getting lucky? Etc. But back to the topic. I would start here. This is going to take you a while to get through all of it, especially if you do it right. But then after that, I would go to the Forex Market Maker Primer course. Even if you're not trading Forex, everything that he teaches transcends across any asset. So that's good stuff there. And then I did the OTEs. I pretty much went through everything, but I would do this, the 2022 mentorship, Market Maker Primer, maybe the OTE pattern recognition series if you need more help with the OTE, and then I would do the core content. And then after you've done all that, then you can go to the charter content. A lot of people want to go straight to the charter content, and I'm telling you that is not the move. You could start here at 2023 if you wanted, or 2024 if you wanted. But I'm just telling you how I learned. Mine was 2022 mentorship. Then we went to the Market Maker Primer course. Then I watched the scalping series, and then I went through the core content. I haven't even made it through all the core content, and I haven't made it through the charter content either. I stopped when I found what I was looking for, and that's what I encourage you to do. There, okay. And what we're going to do now is you have to be consistent in your approach with everything. Consistency is going to be the thing that is going to set you apart from the unprofitable trader. And what I mean by consistency is consistency in 1 to 3 assets. To me, I've only traded NQ. I look at S&P and NQ. I've looked at gold and like 6E futures, but I haven't took any trades on gold or 6E. I'm studying gold right now after 2 years of NASDAQ and S&P. I would like to be able to have a handful of assets, be able to look at them and see what's the best probability. That's where I'm at now. But I highly recommend to start with one asset. That way you know how it moves. You learn how it, and we just opened up here. And it looks like we've got, a 985, 1530, like a 30-point new week opening gap. Okay, anyway, back to this. Consistency. 1 to 3 assets. NQ, moves faster than the S&P. So if you want to start at S&P, whatever you want to do there, but I highly recommend sticking with 1 to 3 assets. We are trying to be disciplined. We are going to be disciplined, but we have to be consistent in everything. And that falls under the next thing is going to be master one model at a time. ICT has a lot of stuff. You can get very overwhelmed very quick. Find something like OTE, Optimal Trade Entry, or whatever fits your eye. To me, that's why I've got these fair value gaps here, okay? We'll go on a 5-minute chart. Basically, what I'm looking for is a fair value gap to be respected around VWAP, because I'm incorporating VWAP. So like right here would be perfect. We broke down. We're bearish. We tap in VWAP, and I'm pushing away. Whatever. I don't care if it's a support and resistance idea. I don't care if it's an order block, a breaker block, a fair value gap, inverted fair value gap. Whatever fits your eye, and everybody's going to be different. Not everybody's going to like the fair value gap. Not everybody's going to like an order block or a breaker block or a whatever block or a support resistance, break and retest, 15-minute order, whatever strategy that you want to go with, because there are many. Stick to one at first. Consistency, master it, okay, before you move on to something else. Know your numbers. Know after 100 trades that 62 of them are winners and they run this amount and this long and all that. The next thing is going to be to stick to one time of the day. Okay, we're trying to be consistent, right? So we're going to be consistently watching 1 to 3 assets. We're going to be consistently mastering one model, and we're going to stick to one time of day. And that's going to be different for everybody. Like for me, I work. So my job is I have to basically from 7:30 p.m. Eastern to 5:30 p.m. Eastern, I am not able to sit down at my desk and look at the market unless I'm off that day. And when I am, sometimes I do now, but so I stick to the Asian session, and I try to wait either for the macro from 6:50 to 7:10, or my favorite one is 7:45 to 8:15. Those 15 minutes before the hour, 15 minutes after the hour. Is generally what I'm looking for. But see, that's the time I can show up every day and watch this. So if you can watch the London session wherever you're at, or if you can watch the afternoon session or whatever it is, that's what you need to stick to and be consistent with it every day, because we got to be consistent in our approach. And that leads me to the next thing, which is don't rush and don't switch your strategies. Just because you take a loss doesn't mean your strategy don't work. That's going to be something that you're going to want to do real quick, because you're not going to want to take any accountability for anything. You're not going to be wanting to journal your trades. You're not going to, whatever mistakes that you're going to make, you need to own them. It's nobody's fault but yours, just like they're mine. And a new strategy is not going to help you. What's going to help you is mastering your strategy. So you need to, and this kind of ties in with my next point, which is understanding market conditions or market profiles. ICT has a lot of stuff in there about market conditions and market profiles. Whether that's a classic sell day, a classic buy day, a trending day, seek and destroy profiles where it's just choppy back and forth. If you can recognize what kind of market conditions that you are in, that is going to really help you when it comes to your execution, because you're going to be like, all right, we're in a trending day, I'll be able to, this should run. Or, man, we're just ranging, we're back and forth, okay, I need to, when it gets to this level, I may need to take a partial and go to break even, because, we're just bouncing from support and resistance back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but understanding what conditions that you are in is going to really help you. And that's something that I didn't learn for a while. I just was jumping on and just trading. But you have to take all this into account and see what's going on, because you can be you can have the best strategy and the best risk management and everything, but if you're in having bad market conditions like a seek and destroy, and you're trying to do a break and retest, you're going to have a bad day. So what you really have to, your risk management, and I would have a fixed position sizing, meaning I would risk the same amount per trade. Most of us on here are trading prop firms. So on a 50K account, you got about 2K a drawdown. And after you take a payout, that goes away. You just have what you got in there. But so what I would do is, if I was doing it and I was unprofitable, I would risk about $100 a trade. And after 2 trades, I would be done. After 2 losing trades, I would be out. That gives you 20 trades on a prop firm before you blow up. Right now, I trade $250 a trade, and I have a daily loss of $385. It usually triggers about $400, so it'll kick me out for the day after my second loss, and it's normally not a full loss. It's normally a $250 and a $150, and I'm done. But if you can get used to a fixed position size, especially when you're trading prop firms, that's going to help you. Everything I'm trying to do here is to stack discipline and consistency with 1 to 3 assets, with mastering one model at a time, stick to the same time of the day. All that is, we're being disciplined in our approach, and we're being consistent in our approach. And that is something that you have to carry with you every single day. And, I may have missed something here. This is day 1 of the boot camp. These are the 10 things that I think, if you would start right off the bat, that this would definitely help you. So number 1 was consistency and discipline with everything. Number 2 is sticking to 1 to 3 assets. I would highly recommend one, and if it's NASDAQ, to look at S&P and NASDAQ together. We'll go more into that later. The 3rd was master 1 model at a time. Number 4, stick to 1 time of the day. 5 is fixed position sizing, your risk to reward. 2 losing trades you need to get out, set a daily loss. Number 6 was don't rush, don't switch strategies, all that good stuff. Number 7 was understanding market conditions and market profiles. 8 was going through, showing you what I would start learning, like ICT 2022 mentorship, the Market Maker Primer course, and then go through the core content. And don't rush that. You can't Netflix and chill it. You have to be on it, watching it, taking notes, going back, doing the work, doing the back tests. It's gonna take some time. It's okay. It really is. And number 9 is going to be journal. Be very detailed in your journaling. Don't beat yourself up. Just write down your trade idea. Hey, I went short here because I was in a fair value gap. It was after a breakaway gap, and I thought that I entered in this fair value gap anticipating it to make a new swing high. And then if it plays out, write the results. If it didn't, just be like, although this trade idea did not work out, I followed my plan, and just be positive. And the last thing that I didn't talk about, number 10, would be I would stay on demo only until you are comfortable with the platform. I mean, if you feel emotions in demo, then you could stay on that a little longer. I didn't, because it was just, I basically forward tested everything through prop firms. Like, they're pretty cheap, $50. Some of the Apex ones are cheaper. I don't recommend them. I'm not a paid affiliate with anywhere, but Top Step has been really good to me, from their support to their payouts to, they have a good community, their Discord, all that. But I would only stay on demo until you're comfortable with that platform. What I mean by that is, are you able to buy? Are you able to sell? Are you able to... You don't want to make any execution errors, and you want to be able to chart, look at your screen, whatever. When you're comfortable with all that, then um, I would do some back testing while I was doing that on my strategy to see what I'm going to do, to see what model that I want to master first. And then if it were me and I had the money, I would get the cheapest challenge that I could get and go into the live market with that. But there's a lot more to come on this bootcamp series. These are just the first 10 things that I would do to get going. This should give you plenty of time. If you go through all this, especially going through his content and taking notes and everything, that's a good 3 or 4 months of work right there, if not more. And that's hitting it every day, a few hours a day. So I hope this helped you, get you on the right track. If somebody like me can do it, I grew up late in life. I'm 41. I went through some life experiences that smacked me right in the mouth, and I didn't know how to handle them. So I started drinking, got on drugs, and I would never have thought I would have done something like that. But by the grace of God, I'm glad I did go through all of it, because it made me a better man. It taught me a lot about myself, how to treat others, etc. But this is why these prop firms exist and trading exists, and this is why ICT give all this stuff for free, is for people like me, you, whoever. We can do this, but it's going to take some time. You can't rush. You got to put in the work, and you got to want it. You got to want it for more than just the money. You got to want it because you want to change your bloodline. You got to want it to get yourself out of the 9 to 5 that you want to. This has got to be your purpose, to be able to learn this, to be able to master yourself, to be disciplined, and then want to help other people with it. To give back to to others who are struggling. There's enough money in this world, in these markets, for all of us. So my goal is to build a community of like-minded people here that just want to help each other, push each other, so we can all get a piece of it. So this is day 1 of the bootcamp series. If anybody would like to add something to it, like what had helped them, or something I may have missed, because I'm sure I did, but I think this will give you a good start. And I appreciate you. God bless you. I'm praying for you. Good luck to you, and till next time, good luck trading.